Now you're talking. Now you are talking, everyone. Welcome to the Skinny Jean Gardener podcast. That's right, everybody. We are back once again in a shed that isn't actually that hot today. We had a bit of a thunderstorm last night, everyone. We had a thunderstorm, which was lovely. It needed it, didn't it? It needed it. It needed it. So Suggs. I mean, if you saw Suggs list. If you listen to last week's episode, I saw Suggs was doing his live on Sunday. Oh, it looked hot. Not in here. Not in here, my friends. What a show we've got coming up for you tonight. I am buzzing, pun intended. Anyone? No? Okay, just me. But before that, I must thank our sponsors, works-uk.com, for all your robotic and battery-powered tool needs. We'll talk about them a little bit later on. bestdaysvintage.co.uk. Look good, feel good in the garden or wherever you are, guys. That's Best Days Vintage. And the School Garden Success Plan. You know what it's about. It's about schools and gardening and success. Again, I'll talk about that a lot later on. Should we hit the intro and let's get into this, shall we? All right, you're in charge. You're beaming positivity and radiance. You look amazing, mate. What just happened? Hey, mate. Or, right, I love singing, right? So I could be a singer, you could be a backing dancer, band. Oh my God. Oh, I know this. Oh, guys, right. Oh my God. Oh, right, we're just going to have to go off script for a second. Absolutely idiot-proof. Oh my gosh, Danny! Forget it. Get out of here. That was unexpected. Oh. Let's see you in the saga. Let's see you in the comments if you're about tonight. Tonight we're talking about bees. The buzzing bees. This is good. Let's have that sit there. Mr. Richard Sullett says it was roasted in my shed. Must fit some aircon. Very cool in here, mate. Very cool in here. Beddoes in the house, everyone. Ian Beddoes. Play the whole lot out. Oh, what a way to start the show, everybody. I hope you're all well. Today, we are talking about bees, and I'll explain more in a minute. But if you want to call in, it's 0742 357 4520. And if you're, I've really got me pumped, that music, huh? Really got me pumped. 0742 354520 if you want to talk about bees. Maybe you've got a couple of bees in your garden. Call in. Let us know how you attract them. I'd love to hear from you. Right. Last week I mentioned, oh God, I'm sure he has. We'll come to that comment in a sec. Last week, right? it was Olive's birthday. Remember, I don't know if did I mention this. I did mention this in the podcast, didn't I? I did mention it, right? It was Olive's birthday, everyone. And I spent the entire weekend, not the entire weekend, but most of the Saturday dressed as Dumbledore. Yeah, Dumbledore. She had such a great time. It was so good. I'll be honest with you, if I didn't do podcasts, I'd probably do birthday parties. That's my next career, everybody. All right. So Lee Conley birthday parties, specifically Dumbledore at the moment. I've honed that in. We did so much. We obviously got this is classic Olive. So I said, "Oh, I've booked a Dumbledore to come, Olive. Dumbledore's coming to come to your birthday party." And she's like, "Really?" I was like, "Yeah." And I didn't tell her. Anyway, I said, "Right, I've got to go now. I've got to go to work." If I went, got in my Dumbledore outfit. Have I got a picture of it? Obviously, you on the podcast can't see it, right? But hang on, wait there. Let me try and see if I've got Dumbledore picture. Here it is. For anyone that's watching, this is what you miss, guys. There's me as Dumbledore. Uncanny, right? Uncanny picture of me in a beard. Not sure what I'm going to use that outfit for again. Anyway, all the kids were going, there's 18 children in the garden. 18 children. And they're like, you're Olive's dad. You're Olive's dad. And I was like, nah, I'm not. I didn't speak like that. Obviously, I was Dumbledore. No, I'm not. It's not me. I was that good, right? I was that good at Dumbledore. The neighbour was doing their hedge, right? And watching. When I got out of the Dumbledore outfit, they said, "Cool, that Dumbledore was good you had. He was good." It was me. I didn't say that. I said, "Yeah, he was all right, wasn't he?" Pretended that I hired him. Anyway, where was I going with this? Yeah, so anyway, I kept the act going. I said, I was Dumbledore, right? We'll come to the bees in a minute. I said, I'm Dumbledore. Then we did what has to be probably the best. We did a range of activities, which were brilliant. No time to go through them all now. Do you want me to go through them? Not right now. A range of them. I will go through them. We did magic wands making. I think I mentioned that on the podcast recently where we made a load of magic wands out of sticks. Loved them. Then they didn't make them. I handed them out. Then we did flying lessons on the trampoline. Perfect. I got the trampoline. Then we went and did owl post. So basically they had to write a little postcard to Olive up in near the taxi bit. They were like, wow, you got a taxi in your garden. I was like, yeah, I know. Then this is the best bit, right? Oh, then we did Quidditch. So I got a hula hoop in the garden, yeah? Stuck it to a spade, sure. And dug a fork, it was a fork. Dug the fork into the garden, and they had to get a balloon and put the balloon between their legs and wiggle it all the way down the garden and then throw it through the hoop. This only makes sense to any Harry Potter fans, let's be honest. Then we did. Now, this is why they all knew that I was Dumbledore. And Olive shouted, it goes, see, this is how you know it's my dad, because it's gardening based. We did magic potions. Now, everyone knows, right, how much I love wildflowers, yeah? But what I got them to do was, in a cup, they mixed water, a little bit of glitter, yeah, a little bit of food colouring, and some wildflower seeds. Then what happened is, they went off for lunch, and I put them all into some wicked test tubes. And I said, when you get home, just chuck them over somewhere in your garden, and you'll get amazing wildflowers pop up. I don't know how many of them actually did that. I mean, parents probably looked at it and went, okay, get rid of it. But a little bit of gardening added to it. Sure, they'd get a bit of glitter on the soil, but you'll be all right. It's a little bit of glitter. It'll be fine. But wildflowers from it, huh? Little bit of gardening there, guys. Little bit of gardening. And what will then wildflowers do? That's right. Perfect little, what's it called? When you just bring it in. Bees. It will attract the bees. You're right. Exactly. And the reason the reason I mentioned bees, which Richard says, I don't believe it. Believe it. Good one. Please keep putting your bee puns in the comments. Ian says, I have a big banner, that says, welcome bees. Why? 0742 357 4520. Why? Okay. I believe you, but why? Stuart says, I attract bees by planting lots of flowers. It's a good shout. It's a good shout. Anyway, bees, right? I thought this was important because I noticed this. Let me try and get it up on screen tonight. Can I share screen? Hey, if you're, no, as I do this, if you're listening to the podcast, go give it a rating review, will you? Go rate and review it. Give it a like. Give it a shout out. Really appreciate it. The reason I'm talking about this is because I spotted this, the Big Bee Challenge with BBC Radio 2. I believe the RHS are involved in it as well. The Big Bee Challenge is Radio 2's brand new competition for kids in partnership, it is, with the RHS. It's a fun and creative way to learn more about bees and other insects that help provide much of the food we eat and are essential for a healthy environment. Hence the reason I thought we'd talk about bees tonight on the show. Look at that, Stuart. Call in. He says, we have done Zobel's Bee Challenge in the Forest School this week. Interesting. It'd be nice to hear what you got up to. I don't even know what the challenge is yet, Stu. Let's find out. If you're between the ages of 6 and 12, we want you to design a bright, buzzy garden that will attract bees and other pollinating insects. The winner's designs will be built by the RHS at an NHS trust site, which is used by young people with mental health needs. Oh, okay. Right, the lucky winner will be invited to open the garden at an outside broadcast, the Zobel Breakfast Show on Friday, the 20th of August. Okay. All right. Oh, okay. Right, okay. If you're listening on the podcast, there's just a lot of me going, oh, yeah. All right. Oh, yeah. Okay. If you listen on the podcast, I'll whack a link in the notes of how you do it. But basically, all you have to do is download a copy of the Big Bee Challenge Garden Design entry form here. So what? Right, hang on. So what do you have to do? You have to, obviously, if you've got a school on the go, I'm guessing this is UK based only, isn't it? This is a great one if you've got school kids. You need to design a bright, buzzy garden that will attract bees and other pollinating. Well, that's easy, right? We could do that tonight, can we? Look at that. Stu says he has 64 garden designs now. That's what you want. Sorted. We love a bit of design work on this show, huh? Have a little bit of design work. That seems really easy. This is such a good one, right? I was speaking to someone about design and trying to get it in the school gardening plan the other day, actually, which we're going to do a lot more of. Part of the school gardening plan is partly design, so that's quite handy. But this is really nice. What can we do to attract bees into our garden? Well, like I said, wildflowers is probably the biggest thing for me. The easiest thing that I can shout out. You know, it's in the book, guys. Huh? Anyone? Okay. Wildflower. Really simple, really easy. You know the score with that one. But any flowers, really. Any nectar-rich flowers that you can bring into the garden is a good one. But do you know what, right? So I've got a bee hotel. I think I might have mentioned this on the podcast a couple of weeks ago. But me and Olive sat down and watched bees. Now, anyone can correct me on this, but this is... We remember we had that... we talked about bees last year, didn't we? Quite a bit on the show. Oh, I must find that episode so we can put it in the notes. What we watched was amazing, right? So I put this bee hotel down near Olive's garden, and there were some bees that were going in and out, filling the holes in the canes. What they call the bamboo canes. Because I think what they do is they leave their babies in there. Then they have to to protect them from any pet, like what they call prey. Not prey, is it? What's it called? You know what I'm trying to say. To protect them, they have to then fill the holes back up. And me and Olive sat there. It was such a beautiful thing to do with her. We sat there for literally 20 minutes just watching these bees go back and forth. And Olive was a little bit scared when they come buzzing by. So I don't worry, they're busy. They're working really hard. I told you the other week when we went Predators, thank you. I told you the other week, right? When we went to that RSPB garden. And did I tell you about this? I don't know if I did. We went there, and the man showed us a bird nest, which obviously they have a camera in, and the bees had taken over. The birds have left, and the bees had taken over. It was incredible to watch them worker bees going in and out and creating that hive inside that bird box. It's an amazing thing to watch, and I think a bug hotel is a great thing. Olive's bug hotel I actually have to move, but obviously now the bees are going in and out of it. I'm too scared to move it. The reason I need to move it is it's a little bit low down, but they're using it. They're using it, team. A really simple way to make a boat. The one I brought, actually, was I given it? I might have been given it. The one I've got is pretty nice. But you can make a really easy one out of a what I've got here, a 1.5 litre plastic bottle, right? You can drink the water, stay hydrated. Stay hydrated in this weather, team. What you do with one of these bottles is you cut the spout off, yeah, and you just pack it full. Leave the end on, yeah. Leave the end, like the bottom part. Leave that on. Cut the spout off. Then you pack it full of canes, bamboo canes. Make sure they're bamboo canes with holes in them. And what will happen is the bees will use them, bamboo canes, but you must make sure you keep the bottom on. Once upon a time, we used to say cut the bottom off. Don't. Keep that bottom on because that's what they want. They want protection so they can make a home for their kids, basically. That's what it's for. And they'll use that. So you can hang that in the garden, somewhere a bit protected, and they'll end up using it. It does take time. Like I say, the bug hotel we've got, they've only just started using it. It's been in my garden for about 2 years. And it does take time. I remember when I first found out about that, we had in our garage some holes and a bee was going in and out. And I didn't really know about bees then. Didn't really know about them. But yeah, there was ashamed to say there was a bee going in and out. I thought it was making a hive inside a breeze block. Obviously it wasn't. I was being an idiot. I put a screw. I'm ashamed to say it. I put a screw in the hole, stopped the bee. The bee panicked, spit out, Lee, and left. I feel guilty now, all right? I'm owning up to it. I feel guilty. But it happened. Okay? It happened. That's why we're here to learn about bees and their importance in the garden. Stuart says, you also have to have somewhere for humans to sit in the garden. If we are designing a garden, we must have lupins and foxgloves. This is a very good point. I like that, how you say a place to have humans. I wonder if we have an irrational fear of bees and that. Right? It feels like something. I had a bee try and get me yesterday, actually. I was just sitting there in the garden. The bee was coming down. I tried to play it cool. I didn't. It didn't really work out. I think it was a bee. It was massive. It didn't really work. I didn't really play it that cool. But I wonder if we have an irrational fear of bees that come from when you're a child. I don't know. Everyone seems to be scared of them. I'm trying to tell others, don't worry. If they come around, they'll just sort of buzz off. They're not really interested in us, right? But I like what you're saying, Stu. I like how you're saying that we need to also have a place for humans to sit and enjoy the garden. Lupins and foxgloves, good call. By the way, you may be a little bit too old to enter. It's aimed at 6. I know I'm too old to enter. I'm not not an idiot. I know, Stuart, I'm too old. I know. He said, I had to come in from the garden at 4 as it started raining. Not enough to fill any buckets, though. Doesn't surprise me it was raining where you are, Beddoes. To say sorry to 1B, you should create a bee garden. Yeah, I want to. I think it's important. I think it's something, to be honest with you, I think it's something that we don't really think about that much. Massively. Don't really think about what we can do for bees. But this year, I've seen a lot more about I'll tell you one of the reasons. I don't know where you are in the country, yeah? One of the reasons that I really think that we have seen more is, for whatever reason, I'm not asked the council, but they've not been cutting the curbside lawn things. Well, I don't know what they're called. Whatever they're called. I'm losing my words tonight. They've not been cutting them. And so the grass has been growing long, and I think the bees have been using it a lot more. I think it's a good idea. It looks a bit scruffy. I hear ya. Might be better just to actually just put some flowers or something down. But I think it's a good idea. And that's probably what we should try and do as well, is in our own gardens, isn't it? Is try and leave a little bit of growth, right? Even Sug says his verges haven't been cut. That's a good idea. I like it. I think it's a great idea. But I think it is helping the bees. I think it's definitely helping them. I don't know. 07423574520 if you think anything about that. But I think it's a good idea. Have I said that? Of course I've said that. I was on a roll for something I was about to say. What was I going to say? Oh yeah, that's it. Yeah. So us having an area, it was about to plug something. So us having an area in the garden that is a little bit overgrown, maybe a few flowers, keeping that grass a little bit long is perfect. Absolutely great. Maybe you're going to get ready for it. Maybe you're going to be using a grass cutter from Works, everybody. You like that? You like that? Because I obviously use a robotic, and one of the things that I have got to change on my robotic for this very reason is the wire, so I can have an area that is left a little bit to, and I know I've said it for a while that I want to do that, an area of the lawn that is left a little bit more overgrown. But obviously then I go and cut it with a grass trimmer, all the edges. Maybe I don't have to. Maybe I don't have. It's too easy though. That's the thing. What I'm saying from works-uk.com. It's too easy to just go do your edges. It makes it so simple. I can't even tell you how simple it is. Battery in, boom. This is Partridge. Battery, boom. Back of it. Button. Grass. 3 minutes. Done. Makes it too easy to not have a bee-friendly area. But I tell you what, that's what I'm going to do in the garden. I am going to change that robotic wire so it doesn't cut an area, and we are going to have like a little wild bit, wild thing, a wild area in the garden for the bees. Because if the council are doing it, perfect. All right, perfect. But if you want to get any of that battery powered toolage from Works, then it's works-uk.com. I can't tell you how much easier my entire gardening experience has been using Works battery tools, especially to cut the lawn. I'd say every single week, especially to cut the lawn. Like for that birthday, right? I mentioned this last week, didn't I? Like from the birthday, I didn't have to do anything. I did have to cut the edges. I didn't have to cut the lawn. It was done for me. I chuckle on a hot sunny day when I sit outside with a glass of refreshing water, probably, and my neighbours are sweating it out with their lawnmowers, and I just watch my robotic fly about. And then 3 minutes, I stand up, and 3 minutes later, right, done. Sit back down. Works-uk.com, everybody. Works-uk.com. Go check them out. Go give them some love. Go change your garden experience. Go change it. I'm really enjoying using the Works at the moment. So please do check them out, as well as bestdaysvintage.co.uk. Look good, feel good while you're gardening, going into town again, going out, seeing family. Look good, feel good in amazing garms, I think the young people call them. Garms from bestdaysvintage.co.uk. They really care, one, how you look, but also how you feel. About mental health is a big part of what they do. They've just got a new counselling area in their store, which is brilliant. And, they're really helping and care about their customer base. To the point that if you sign up to their newsletter at bestdaysvintage.co.uk, I believe you get a discount over there. Must check that again. You get a discount on any online purchases, and you get a weekly newsletter which will either give you a chuckle or help you out mentally. It's worth going and check it out. bestdaysvintage.co.uk to look good and feel good, people. And also the School Gardening Success Plan, everybody. It's available right now at skinnygardener.co.uk/school success. We are filming again next weekend, which I'm well excited about. We're filming for the School Gardening Success Plan. We've only got probably about 5 or 6 more filming days now. It's really coming together, which is quite exciting. And deliveries in September. Got a few schools ready to go. I've had some great meetings this week as well, once again. So it's all coming together. I'm so excited. I'd love it for you to get involved too. It's £4.99 a class, but if you want to kick off just with a school, £499 for the school to get gardening is, I know it is my school plan, but that is incredible value. You get all the kit you need, all the lesson plans, and all the teacher support a teacher could ever want. skinnygardener.co.uk school success for a little bit of that. Phone lines are well quiet tonight, team. It's fine. I don't mind. I'll do all the work. I hear what you're saying. The other week, I did make Mr. Suggett do a lot of the work. This is probably payback. I understand that. I'll take that. I should take that and move on, because bees, everybody, they planted wildflowers after digging up the verges around here. Last year, it looked good. This year, nothing has grown. Oh. Well, it's a bit of a thanks, Jackson. School success plan is all you need. And no garden could even use it. What was I saying? Oh, yeah. That's funny, Beddoes. You say that, right? I wonder if it's a watering issue. We've had some real hot weather, right? And if it's wildflowers, it should have reseeded, but I wonder if they left it long enough to reseed, or whether they dug up the seeds in the. I don't know. It's an interesting one. It seems a shame, though, right? Seems a shame. Basically, if you have a wildflower area, you shouldn't really need to reseed it, because it should, if you leave it long enough, the seed heads will sort of just spread their seed below, ready for the next season. So it should happen. You shouldn't really have to do much with it. We have had some real hot weather. If the soil's totally dry, maybe they're just not German. I don't know. It's a hard one. But I'm glad they tried it around your way. I think we should look after our own verges, but that's a whole nother thing, right? It's a whole nother thing. Right, so if we want to attract bees into the garden, let's talk about this because the Big Bee Challenge by Radio 2, I think it's a great thing to get kids involved in this. Fantastic, and Mr. Jackson's doing it for his school, which is great. Everybody, fantastic. But what else can we add? I really like your idea of adding lupins and foxgloves to the garden, Mr. Jackson. We've got wildflowers we can add to it, and we can leave our grass a little bit longer in places for the bees to enjoy. A little bit longer. But also, I'll tell you one thing no one really thinks about is just leaving a little dish, right? A little dish of water. We've got one. It used to be a chicken. It is now. I was about to say a chicken shop one, but I didn't want you to think it was KFC. It was Nando's dish, yeah. Where I fill it up with water. It's hidden amongst the soil. I fill it up with a little bit of water, and I have seen bees swim in it. Not like doing lengths, have a day. Not doing lengths, obviously, but they just want a little drink. There's a little place. If you ain't got like a pond, or if you've not got a little mini pond, which we've made in our garden, just have, or even a bird bath, because you'll see bees use bird baths quite a bit. Just a little bit of water to keep them going. I'm gonna have a little water now, but it really helps keep hydrated. Bees are important to our to everything. What a statement. I wonder if we got anything here, right? I found an article when I was researching this. Let me see if I can get it up. Because I think we all noticed. I did say, like, I think we've seen a lot more bees recently, yeah. But where is that? Missing bees. Where have all our bees gone? I don't know if you remember when you were younger, there used to be so many more. It almost sounds like this is from the website Buzz About Bees. Perfect. It almost sounds like we misplaced something and now we're wondering where to find it. Unfortunately, this isn't the case. Bees are not simply in hiding somewhere waiting for the right conditions to venture out. Our bees have been disappearing for some time now. In the case of wild bees, this has been a gradual over the years. However, the way we use the term missing bees can be confusing. Honeybees disappearing from hives or sudden colony collapse disorder. This, in my view, related to pesticide use. That takes us on to another top bee tip, everybody, doesn't it? Pesticides. We don't want to use pesticides, full stop, let alone for bees. Not that we're giving it to drink, you know what I mean. Doesn't help it. However, there's another issue. Bee decline generally, in part, also down to pesticide use, also habitat loss. We may not use pesticides, but all of us, if we're living in a home, probably, definitely, unless you've done something in your own garden, are causing that. Because once upon a time, there was a massive field or woodland, and now we've put houses on there. So no wonder we're losing bees. No wonder, especially, we're not going to talk about it today, but the artificial grass, I know, let's not talk about it. The artificial grass thing, or block paving, or concreting, or cementing, or just general over-tidiness of gardens is going to affect bees, right? It's going to affect all wildlife. I mean, let me just find this fact, right? This is an important fact I didn't find before the show, but what would happen, right? Let me write this. What would happen if we had no bees. Okay. Because I believe if we didn't have bees, without sounding too, without being too much, I don't know if life on Earth would happen. Could be wrong. Here we go, look. Googled says, if bees disappeared off the face of the Earth, man would only have 4 years left to live. If bees, obviously, can I just put a note here that this is from the internet? Might be a little bit longer. If bees disappeared off the face of the Earth, man would only have 4 years to live. And we are doing what with that? If you walked into someone's house and said, all right, nice ass. You probably should say, do something for the bees. Nah, I don't like bees, mate. They disturb my barbecue. I won't want to do that. Yeah, but if you don't look after them bees, you'll only have 4 years to live. They're messing with my sausages, mate. Forget it. Wouldn't happen, would it? That hopefully wouldn't happen. 4 years without bees, huh? Could be a bit more. What's this say? If we didn't have bees, if there were no more bees, we would lose all the plants. Hold on a second. This is our resident bee expert, no doubt. Hello?
Hello, mate.
Who's speaking?
It's Mr. Faggot.
Hey, man.
Took you a minute there, didn't you?
Well, usually you chirp in on the old screen, so I was a bit confused for a second.
I haven't got my top on, so I thought I'd best to call in rather than zap in.
Okay, you could have come up with another excuse, but that's fine.
I'm being honest.
Yeah, well, that's what matters, my friend. What's going on, my man?
Yep. I'm just gonna the quote you've just read from the internet from Google about 4 years.
Yeah.
There's a slight problem with that figure.
Why?
And I don't want to downplay the effect bees have, but they are not the only pollinating insects on the planet.
That's a good point.
Now, of course, bees are quite an important part of our ecosystem, and I'm sure there'll be a lot of damage would happen if they were wiped out.
Mm-hmm.
But there are other pollinators. Now, if all the pollinators were gone in the world, which, the decline of bees, it's reasonable to assume there'll be a decline of other pollinators.
Yeah.
And then, 4 years.
I mean, if bees weren't about, maybe there wouldn't be as many other pollinators about because they'd be
declining for the same reason.
Yeah.
Maybe
bees are being used more of an example because bees are like, I don't know, a threat. I don't know.
Easy to recognise.
Well, yeah, I think that's probably what it is. It's easier to pinpoint one, isn't it? But they are one important. I really think I think this is a really good thing. Like when I saw it pop up, the Big B channel, I thought it was a nice thing to. I mean, maybe I don't know if it does annoy me sometimes these sort of things because I'm like BBC Radio 2.
Yeah.
I wish it was a little bit more. I don't know. It'd be nice to have teenagers. I've been guessing teenagers listen to Radio 1 and people like you, Suggs. If that was a bit more in their face, you know what I mean? Because I don't know. Like we know about it because I do listen to Radio 2 now and again.
Yeah.
Me nan listens to Radio 2.
Yeah. Well,
sure
it doesn't Joe Wiley work at Radio 2 now?
Yeah, they all go down to that point, don't they? Everyone gets older, mate.
Yeah. Yeah, except me.
Sure, young at heart. I don't know.
Absolutely.
But anyway, I think it's a good thing, and it's nice that it's nice that Mr. Jackson and some schools are going to get involved. But I just think it's an important thing. Like one of you just wrote, when a new housing estate is built in my town, the developers have to build allotments. Oh, is that true? Is it?
Yeah. You know, I've got all that work, building work going on alongside my allotment.
Yeah.
New road, new housing estate. They're building a bridge over the railway anyway, but they've actually been building an entrance to another new set of allotments that are going in.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Interesting.
And I think when I took you to my allotment a couple of years back, there was wildflower areas along the side of my allotment.
Yeah, there was. I remember them. Yeah.
Yeah, they've growing back now.
Oh, that's good.
Now that the building work has sort of not affected the allotment so much,
yeah,
that's just been left to it, and the wildflowers are coming back. It's great to see.
That's interesting. Like, we've got a few building estates around our way, and there's nothing like that. There's nothing. I've not seen any. There's definitely no allotments. That's for sure. But like wildlife areas, I mean, there's loads of grass, sure, but
yeah,
you know, there's no real. I don't really see much thought for wildlife.
Yeah, I mean, there's a thing going on in my town at the moment that they want to build on a meadow just around the corner.
Yeah.
And a lot of people are trying to fight it because why do we need more houses when there's so many more houses going on everywhere else? But also, you know, okay, they will have to put in an allotment, but they've lost that meadow area. So what you're gaining, you're losing a lot more.
Yeah, that's the thing, isn't it? It's quite scary, man. I think it is a scary thing. It's a bit like, remember when we watched that thing, was it Eat the Dirt? Remember we watched that?
Yes, I was trying to remember what it was called.
Well, I can't remember what it was exactly called. I think it might have been something like that. But anyway, I got really scared then. But now, you know, I don't know, man. It's quite a... I mean, anyway, bees are important. I think in my garden, I'm just going to make more of an effort.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. Yeah. What do you do in your own garden for wildlife?
Well, I've been building... excuse me. I've built an area to the side of my garden where I had a few trees which I've ripped out. Yeah. And I'm lining it with herbs around the edge. Yeah. But in the middle, I'm planting some fruit trees, but also I've sown a bit of wildflower seeds.
Oh, beautiful.
Hopefully it's going to work. The trouble is with chickens that they might end up eating the seeds before they get the chance.
Before they get going. I mean, that is the thing with chickens, mate, isn't it? It's the downside of that.
Yeah. So we'll see how it goes. I mean, I've netted it to try and stop the chickens, but they still find their way under the nets for a little.
Well, yeah. How long do you have to like will they like take the seedlings when they start popping through?
Well, it's the seeds just scattered on the soil, isn't it, from those packs? So my hope would be they would germinate and grow. And then following on, there'll be so many seeds from the flowers that are produced.
Yeah.
That you know, most of them are going to survive.
I'll tell you what you could do. This is pretty permanent and pretty maybe a bit extreme, but if you like framed it properly and had like not chicken wire but bigger wire, like square wire over that area, like a permanent structure, then surely the wildflowers would pop through that and grow, and then when they die off, you just sort of cut them. They're obviously reseed, and you just I don't know. I mean, it's an extreme version.
Yeah, well, I've had to do that with the vegetable patch beds. The trouble is, I've got chicken wire everywhere.
Yeah, I mean, it's not the nicest looking thing, I suppose.
No. I mean, it's an idea, but yeah, it's the joys of having chickens. It's not as easy as they look.
No.
Well, they are easy, I should say. They just, you've got to learn how to live with them.
Yeah. Well, that's, There you go. Well, we're just like them chickens, mate. We must learn to live with the bees.
Yes. Yeah. Well, it's all nature, isn't it? You know,
It's true.
we've got the chickens and they're natural, but also we get birds coming into our garden naturally.
Yeah.
And I don't have to do anything for them.
Well, there you go. It's perfect, mate. Perfect. Suggs, I've got to go, but I shall speak to you later.
Have a good one.
Nice one, dude. Bye-bye.
Cheers. Bye.
There we go. I can't believe just catching us at the end of the show, Mr. Richard Suggett tonight. Bello said we would starve. Well, yeah. I mean, Suggs has got a good point. All pollinators, we've got a lot more pollinators than just bees. But obviously, if bees go, then all the other pollinators probably going to be struggling at the same time, right? We just use bees as an example. Honeybee only makes 1.5 teaspoons of honey in its lifetime. It's sad, isn't it? It works so hard. Bought a 5-pack of different wildflower seeds at the show. Sown 2, but the others say it's too late for this year to start them next year. Yeah, you can do. You can also sow later on in the year, around September or October, around September time. Nothing's going to happen to them, but they're just giving a little bit of head start next year. Or just wait. Let's be honest, you could wait. You know, bees. I feel like we haven't really got into this, but I think we did a little bit, didn't we? But there's so many different ways we can attract bees. Let me know in the comments and give me a tweet or a message if you're taking part in the Big Bee Challenge. We might return to this and come back to it and really go into a bit of design. We ain't done a design one for a while, have we? Maybe we'll do a little design talk at some point. Oh, hello. Here we go. Look. Maybe we'll do a bit of a design talk at some point. As Mr. Jackson just chirps in. Let's see what Mr. Jackson's got to say tonight.
Good evening, Ian.
There he is.
Evening. Yeah, I'm here.
Hello, how you doing, mate?
I'm fine, mate. I'm just going to correct you. It's 1/12 of a teaspoon.
I see it now.
Yeah,
that is ridiculous.
Yeah,
size.
That is. I mean, that's why they're so important.
Yeah. So what? When they've done that 1/12, that's it. They've had it.
Well, they only live. The ones that actually collect the pollen only live for about a year, if they're lucky. Oh. The queen has a good life. She has about 4 years.
Always the way, isn't it?
Yeah, always the way. The women always get the best deal.
Oh dear, mate. But anyway,
yeah.
You've done this Big Bee Challenge, have you?
Yeah, I spoke to a couple of teachers and they went, "Let's go for it." So I thought it was so hot outside this week, so we did it for about 45 minutes, and then they're going to carry it on in class and then give it to me next week so I can post it off. So fantastic. 64 so far.
Oh, hello. 60.
Yeah, 32 in each class.
Wow, that's brilliant, man.
Yeah. Yeah, it's been a good week. Just about a bit hot for me.
Yeah, it's a hot one, my friend. It's a hot one. That's a good one, Stu. I'm going to love you and leave you because we're going to move on to another subject.
That's all right, mate. So... I just thought I'd correct you.
Correct.
That's all right, mate.
Correct. Makes a lot more sense than 1.5 seems like a lot.
Yeah, it does. Right, I'll go. See you later. Yeah,
fantastic, Stuart Jackson there. Right, that's it for Bee Chat, everyone. I don't know. We will return to this chat, no doubt. But if you're going to take part in the Big Bee Challenge, let me know and say hello on the social medias, everybody. Big up to our fantastic sponsors, works-uk.com. If you want to get some awesome tools from them, go and check them out. Also, bestdaysvintage.co.uk. Look good, feel good. And the School Garden Success Plan, everybody. For now, and for everyone that's watching, you obviously know that we're going to record 2. But I don't need to explain this, do I? Probably. For now, I'll speak to you later. You're beaming positivity and radiance. You look amazing, mate. What just happened? Hey, mate. Or, right, I love singing, right? So I could be a singer, you could be a backing dancer, band. Oh my God. Oh, I know this. Oh, guys. Right. Oh my. Oh, right. We're just going to have to go off script for a second. Absolutely idiot proof. Oh my gosh, Danny. Forget it. Get out of here. That was unexpected. I've been gardening with children for over 7 years. Been involved in many children's garden campaigns, which has been amazing to get children outside and excited about gardening. Unfortunately, when those campaigns finish, so does the school gardening adventure. I think that's such a shame. Children should know where their food comes from, how to grow it, and how to attract wildlife into this beautiful world that we live in. In 2020, I went on a school tour around the UK, speaking to children and teachers to find out what they really needed. And the one thing that kept coming back to me was support. Support to continue gardening throughout the entire year. A plan. And that's inspired me. That inspired me to create the School Gardening Success Plan. You'll get all of the equipment and all of the tools to get your class gardening. Plus, every month you'll get free lessons, a plan throughout the entire year, and that all-important support. I'll be there to support your class throughout the entire plan. So when they leave primary school, they'll know how to grow their own and how to attract wildlife into the garden. Hello and welcome. We're just doing this again. Welcome to the Skinny Jean Gardener podcast. Hey, right, this is just for people that are viewing. If you don't already know, we record 2 podcasts now in one night of different subjects, all right? We're done with the bees. They're dead to me. They better not be, actually, because in 4 years' time, it could be trouble. So I record another one, all right? I think I need to sort out a bit of a nicer flow to that, okay? We'll sort that. But we're about to talk about weeds. Hello and welcome everyone to the Skinny Jean Gardener podcast. If you've just joined us, hello to you. Today we are talking weeds or no weeds. That is the question after we talked about bees in the last episode. Weeds or no weeds? What's your thoughts, everybody? Because we're very wildlife based at the moment. I feel like a very important thing to be talking about. 4 years without M pollinators. Everyone, 4 years without them. So what do you think about weeds in the garden? What's your thoughts? 0742 357 4520 if you want to call in about that. Before that, I must say thanks to our sponsors, works-uk.com. Go check them out for some incredible battery toolage. We'll talk about them later on. bestdaysvintage.co.uk. Look good, feel good in the garden. And obviously, the School Gardening Success Plan. Get ready for some talks about weeds. You're beaming positivity and radiance. You look amazing, mate. What just happened? Hey, mate. Or, right, I love singing, all right? So I could be a singer, you could be a backing dancer, band. Oh my God. Oh, I know this. Oh, guys. Right. Oh my. Oh, right. We're just going to have to go off script for a second. Absolutely idiot proof. Oh my gosh, Danny. Forget it. Get out of here. That was unexpected. 07423574520 or click the link. I mean, out of all the subjects, out of all of the subjects that we have on this show and the people that call in, this is probably the best subject, right? Even Bedo says, I don't want weeds, but he has lots of them. Of course. Of course. But what do you do with them? Do you keep hold of them? Do you get rid of them? It's a question, right? I actually have kept my weeds in the garden. It's got quite big. They're getting a little bit out of control. All right, a little bit out of control. We'll talk about it in a second. It's been a bit of a strange one, right? I wasn't going to talk about this, but I feel like this is an important notice for people to know about. I've burnt my hand pretty bad. I don't want to show it too much on screen. Obviously, you on the podcast can't actually see it, so it doesn't matter. I've burnt my band and my hand pretty bad. This is a warning to anyone that has a barbecue on the beach, all right? They're trying to ban them, aren't they? So it should have been called, should we ban weeds? Ouch, I know. I had a barbecue on the beach, all right? It was all going so swimmingly. It was going great. Great burgers. Brilliant. I was a great barbecuer. And I made the mistake of I moved the barbecue and the sand looked really, I don't know how to describe it, really dark yellow colour. And I said, I wonder if that's hot. I thought I just put my hand over it, but I misjudged the height of the sand and put my hand on it and basically gave myself first-degree burns. I think it's first degree. I don't know. It hurts. And so this is a warning to anyone that has a barbecue on the beach. We're not going to go into should we ban barbecues, public barbecues, because it's not what we're here for. Obviously, I think we shouldn't because I had one. But it's a warning that the sand actually holds onto heat a lot. All right? I've never run so fast down to the water. Never. Oh my God, it hurt. And so that's me done. That's me out of doing anything with soil for a bit. It really hurts though. Even looking at it. Don't look at it, Lee. Don't look at it. So that's my week, team. That's my week. What an idiot. But I mean, it does mean that I'm not weeding at the moment. Now, I am a big weeder. I usually keep my the beds in the garden well weeded. Over the last, I don't know, month or so, it's got a little bit out of control. All right. And I thought, well, actually, some of these weeds are quite nice looking. Is a weed just a plant in the wrong place, they say, isn't it? That's what they say. Oh, there we go. Stuart Jackson just said it. Weeds are only a plant in the wrong place. That's literally what I just said. And so I thought, I wonder if I can make a garden. I'm getting a new garden, right? I ain't really talked about this too much on the show. Getting a new garden. I'm wondering if I can make a garden just out of wildflowers and weeds and make it look beautiful. Hello.
Evening.
Oh my gosh, it's a blast from the past.
Hello, James Cameron from London.
If anyone knows about weeds, it's this man.
Well, that's what I thought I'd phone in. I thought, he's talking my language.
Have you No, nothing actually. I won't. But what have you been up to?
A weed is just a plant growing in the wrong place.
Wow, exactly. So what you're saying, keep them?
Depends what they are. There are some weeds that are quite nice. And there are some, like I've got a problem with Sticky Willy at the moment. and it's all over the plot. I just can't seem to get rid of it. So that's a problem.
Probably should go to the doctor about that. Yeah, that is a problem. What is that? What is that?
It's a sort of green plant that is sticky and doesn't really seem to have any benefit for being there.
Right. Okay. Right.
It's just one of these plants that becomes a bit of a pain.
Yeah. Well,
so I wouldn't mind getting rid of that. And now I've got mare's tail on my plot, and I don't mind it's the mare's tail.
Well, I think
it comes up and it just stays there, so it doesn't affect anything.
Yeah, well, I think they can be quite. That's what I'm saying. Like I think sometimes weeds can be quite beautiful.
Yeah, well, I'd rather have mare's tail than have bindweed. But then, if bindweed was growing up a fence, I would leave it there because I'd rather see that than see a fence.
Well, there's a weed that I used to have in my garden that used to have a white flower that popped up on it.
On a vine?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's bindweed.
That is bindweed, isn't it? Well, why do we call it a weed? Because it makes a flower.
Yeah, that's the one that if you try and get out of the ground and you leave even a centimetre, a brand new plant will come. But the version that people grow in their gardens is Morning Glory, which is blue, but it all comes from the same family.
Yeah.
I'm trying to remember what the there's another plant, teasel. Now I've been to garden centres and plant stalls, and teasel, it's a bit like a green thistle, has been there for sale. Well, now some people would regard that as a weed.
Wouldn't it be amazing? Imagine having an actual whole stall just of weeds that you could grow in the garden.
Exactly. I'm just looking at Ian Beddoes has just put a comment. Is that the one that sticks to the claws? Yes.
It's a bit of a funny one, looking one.
Sticky Willy is the one where it just sticks, and sometimes you just need help from somebody else to get it off you. You go home and then you realise it's all over your trousers and stuff.
Yeah.
But because I've had a bit of a boost on the old internet for the last month or two regarding the grass on my plot. But I quite like seeing the grass when it's about 5 foot tall and the sun is coming through it. And I've actually started this year sowing grass seeds, but the ornamental grasses. So I'm actually going to introduce more grass to my plot.
Well, I saw that. Is that where you've put that? I saw the other day you put a piece of wood up to stop anyone trimming it. Is that where you're putting? Is that grasses you're putting along there?
No, that is actually going to be a flower bed with some. What's the name of it? As he quickly looks on Instagram to find out the name. Was a plant that I've grown from seed, an echinacea. So it's taken 2 years to get it to this height. Wow. And I thought the last thing I want is the neighbour who seems to use the lawnmower and the strimmer to also level her plot.
Right. I got you.
She doesn't seem to think that it shouldn't cut through soil. Hence why the lawnmower always goes back broke every time. So I thought, right, I'm just going to put up a bit of wood just to protect. Because can you imagine, you've grown 2 years to grow these plants. It's about to flower, and then some bugger comes along and cuts the tops off.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
which is what happened many, many years ago. I had to move about 5 miles away from my plot, so I couldn't get there as often.
Yeah.
And I went over on this one day, and there was grass there about 3 or 4 foot high. And the neighbour said to me, "Oh, I thought I'd help you out, so I've trimmed your plot. The entire plot, I've trimmed it." Well, he only cut the top off 20 rows of potatoes.
Oh,
This is why I
God.
say don't interfere with somebody else's plot. And I've seen the secretary of my last allotment site strimming a plot because he said, "Oh, I trimmed that bloke's plot because his grass was turning colour." And I said, "That wasn't grass. That was wheat. He was trying to grow his own. He was trying to grow his own breakfast."
Oh no! Come on.
So it's like people shouldn't get involved.
Well, no. But on allotments, why they want it so tidy for? It's meant to be an allotment. Like, that's the point of it, surely.
Well, if people are concerned about seeds blowing in from next door, then do what a friend of mine, Jeff, did. He got some green mesh and he just put it around his plot.
Is that why people get a bit annoyed about them? Because they're just worried about all the weed seeds flying over into their plot?
Yes, that they'll fly into somebody else's plot, and then if the guy next door has just spent 3 months making sure the weeds are gone, and then your seeds blow into him, then that's what.
That's what people get annoyed about.
But no, there are quite a few. I remember somebody had a big problem with evening primrose, and they regarded that as a weed and pulled it out.
Oh.
Whereas I couldn't even get the seed to start to grow in my garden.
Oh, there you go. Crikey knows. God knows what goes on, Sean.
So I think people should be a bit more chilled out and just deal with yourself and don't be bothered with what's going on.
Yeah, definitely. Oh, definitely, mate. What have you been up to anyway, Sean? We've not heard from you for ages.
Been busy trying to get my head down because I decided to make my plot. Because I've got 2 plots next door to each other, and I decided to make my plot to just do the one side.
Yeah,
it's been surprising how much I've done in a very short space of time by moving the shed, moving the compost bins, putting down a path, one of those National Trust golden paths,
right? Yeah,
which I don't think people realise when they watch the videos that a 10-minute video can take 2 weeks to film because the ton of gravel that I bought, half of it is still outside the gate. I still haven't brought half of it in, and I just wish I knew somebody on the railway who could come with one of those trucks, and they could just fork it over and put it on a plot.
Makes it so much easier. Is a whole ton going to go in that path?
Yes.
Cool, there's a lot. There's a lot of path there.
Because you've really got to condense it, and you need to walk over the top of it, and yeah.
Oh,
but I was thinking I was behind a bit, and I was feeling a bit of pressure. But looking at a few of the bloggers in my district, they're only planting out the runner beans now. So I actually feel on top. I feel on the top of everything.
Yeah.
But do you want an exclusive?
Let's hear it.
I haven't spoken about this yet. Well, that second half that I was giving up in December, I've decided to keep it.
Okay.
But I'm not going to touch it until the winter because I want to concentrate on the vegetable side. But in the winter and in the spring, I'm building a cottage garden.
Oh, really?
So I'll have cottage garden on one side with a bit of grass,
right,
and a vegetable garden on the other side.
Wowza. And
it's just, mentally, it's helped to sort of think, I'm not going to bother with that side now for 6 months.
Yeah. Well, it makes sense.
And you just get your head down and deal with the patch that you've got. And then once that's done, then I'll move on to the cottage garden, and then I'll do that.
Yeah.
Which will have a pond. And I'm thinking about making the pond so big that there has to be a bridge to go from one side of the plot to the other.
What?
Oh, well, thanks for the offer. Yes. If you want to come and help me dig it, thanks for that. Yeah, that'd be great.
Does it need to be that big?
But yeah, I'm thinking about putting it in the middle of the plot down the entire length.
Right.
And then having a bridge.
Wow, it sounds cool.
And then
Sure.
somewhere to get rid of the foxes.
Yeah. Oh God. Oh dear, mate. Well, as long as you're keeping on top of the weeds, mate, and that's all that matters. I suppose it does make a lot more. It does make a lot of sense to segregate them into two different bits.
Well, I haven't tuned in for quite a while because, like I said, I've been busy. But I can see there's a bit of a thin face going on there.
A bit of a
like you've been eating just weeds.
Well, I don't know what to tell you, mate. It's trying to keep trimming it.
Keep trim for summer.
Keep trim, keep dim.
Oh, and Ian Beddoes has just put a response going, I could farm salmon in the pond. Well, in the last pond I bought 2 goldfish down the pet shop, put them in, fed them for about 2 weeks, and completely forgot that I had them. But they lasted about 5 years. And they got up to about 8 inches big. They were quite big by the time the heron discovered them and came and had them.
Wowza.
So I might put some fish in there.
Well,
trout or something.
Trout? How big's this pond going to be?
Well, obviously it will be filmed.
Well, stay tuned, everybody.
But you won't see that until I'm actually filming at the moment for videos that you won't see until next April, May.
Wow, crikey.
That's planning. That's planning for you.
Yeah, that really is planning. I don't even know what I'm doing next week, let alone that far
But
ahead.
It's nice to see the rain. It started raining yesterday, and it hasn't stopped. And it's going to rain tomorrow, so it feels like being back in Wales.
Beautiful, man. That's what it's all about.
Right, I'll speak to you soon.
All right, cheers for calling in, mate. I'll speak to you later.
Bye for now.
Bye, dude. Oh, fantastic. Sean James Cameron. We've not heard from Sean in ages, have we? Lovely to hear from you. If you want to call in tonight, we're talking weeds or no weeds. What do you think? All right, I do understand in Sean's allotment why they probably don't want too many weeds. I suppose if you're really looking after, not really looking after, I suppose that's the point of this whole chat tonight, because I'm a bit like, don't worry about the weeds, it's fine. I think for someone that is a bit, a little bit finicky, a little bit OCD about their allotment, and then someone who's a bit more wild and free with wildlife, it's growing what they want, and that spreads over. That can cause arguments, can't it? That can cause arguments. It was nice to hear Sean's voice. That's right, Ian. It's lovely to hear from him. I don't know, but probably everybody, a lot of the people on those allotments would probably have to use battery-powered tools like the ones from works-uk.com. Maybe they'd use a grass trimmer. Take that down the allotment, cut the grass with it. Maybe they'd use the Hydra Shot to water their plants. I used that the other day to water plants. Brilliant for it. So good. Or maybe they'd use, I haven't told you about this. I wish I had it in the shed. Maybe they'd use to cut their box hedging. Maybe they've got box hedging at the allotment. Or whatever. Maybe they'd use a handheld. I don't exactly know what the name is. I must check it out on the website. What's it called? Hang on, wait there. I must tell you what it's called. Works-uk.com. Links in the description, everybody, if you want to check it out. Let me have a. I need to tell you what it's called because it's brilliant. I haven't been using it down the. I'll be honest with you, I haven't been using it down the allotment, but I have been using it. Here we go. I'll tell you what it's called because it's awesome. It's called, as it loads. There it is. Hang on. Wait there. Hang on, wait. It's called the Works 20 volt Zen cordless shrub Grass Shear. It's a little handheld thing, right? Little battery powered, and it cuts box hedging beautiful. The Works Zen. It is awesome. I went around the other day, I did my dad's box hedging, and I felt like an absolute master of box hedging cutting, everybody. So maybe you need to, they do not sell battery weeding tools. But thanks for the comments to it. But if you do want to find out what they do sell, works-uk.com, everyone, is the place to head to. Best Days Vintage, look good, feel good. I mentioned this the other week. Go check out Best Days Vintage. They've got some incredible clothes on there. Just awesome guys as well. Awesome guys. Great hearts. They really care about you, the customer. They care about how you're looking. They want you to look cool. I don't think the garden industry necessarily they're going for, but maybe if you want to look cool in a garden and feel good too, bestdaysvintage.co.uk. Head to the website, click and type in your email, and you can get a newsletter every single week, which will either give you a little laugh or help you out with your mental health. They really do care. Go check them out. bestdaysvintage.co.uk. And finally, School Garden Success Plan. We are filming, everyone. We're filming for a few months' time, like ahead of time. I mean, Sean just talked a minute ago about he's filming for next year. We're filming for stuff. What are we filming at the weekend for stuff for September? Not as far as Sean, I suppose. The School Garden Success Plan. If you're a school or a teacher that wants to get their class gardening, this is the best thing. I've had so many amazing conversations about this. We're going to get it out there. We're going to hit 30,000 primary schools by 2025. It's going to happen. We're building up to it. If you want to get involved, it's skinnygarden.co.uk/school success for the School Garden Success Plan. I'll probably talk about that more in next week's podcast. But for now, everyone, it's 0742 35 7 4520. How do you feel about weeds in the garden? And this is not like just a thing tonight. This is a serious, it's not just a subject I've thought of. The reason I'm thinking about this quite a bit is because I actually am. I'm getting another garden, which you'll be actually able to see on screen if you watch the podcast. Of which I want to create something incredible out of wildflowers and incredible weeds that can help our wildlife. That's what we were talking about. That said, Sugget does say, and I do understand this as well, I spend too much time weeding damn couch grass. And we all know couch grass is not my biggest fan. And obviously, if you're an allotment holder, if you're growing veg, you need that space, and you don't want couch grass taken over, right? I know that. I know the feeling. If you've got a garden, though, maybe embracing the couch grass might be an idea, but it does get everywhere. That's the thing. It's a nightmare to get rid of couch grass. You know, it isn't, especially if you. Well, I'm not going to go into that story again, but if you dig it over into, it's a nightmare. Surely that's a show right there. Design Lee's new garden. Maybe we're going to come to that. We will come to it. Or maybe we'll do that next week. Kelly says, hello, Kelly. Good evening to you. Oh, my God. It's a jungle at our allotment after a month of not getting there due to Dan's work commitments and other family stuff going on. Couldn't make it. Spent 4 hours yesterday weeding with my bestie and Dan. Got a good bestie right there. And Dan, obviously. But thistles and bindweed has took over. I reckon it'll take us 2 weeks or more to get back. Lucky father-in-law has been watering stuff up there in the polytunnel. Well, that's lucky, Kelly. I mean, allotment-wise, yeah, you're right. Like, you really do have to keep on it to let your vegetables grow. But I'm definitely where I'm going to be building this garden. I'm not going to be growing vegetables in it. And you're right, Suck. I will do a whole show probably about design that at some point when we get to that new garden. We'll show that off. But I hear you. You should apply for Garden Rescue to come and do it for you. You can then pick between the Rich Brothers and Dimmick. You don't anymore, Sean. They're gone. They're goners. Finally, someone's woken up to the Rich Brothers. I love them really. Finally, someone's noticed the Rich Brothers. Not to be. I think it's some new designers on Garden Rescue now, which is very exciting. But yeah, maybe Garden Rescue could come in. Never let a weed see 2 Sundays, they say. Is that a saying? Is it, Kelly? I like it. Never let a weed see 2 Sundays. They do get bigger. I have also heard someone say, what was who? I can't remember who said it now, but the bigger the weed, the easier it is to pull out. Could have been Sean that said that. Not sure. But I like that. Never let a weed see 2 Sundays. Growing veg wise, I get it. You want to try and keep it clear. You keep your beds clear. Maybe I'm talking tonight more about gardens as a whole. I went to my mate's garden the other day, and I was the only one that was really impressed with his beds because he did have quite a lot of weeds, but it was beautiful. It was wild. It was free. I feel like this is something. This is something almost quite fashionable to have in your gardens. I don't know. Sean says, I've also found since using copper tools, the amount of slug damage has been reduced. Yep. I mean, once again, an allotment, having these great big areas of weeds and grass and wildlife areas are going to attract slugs, right? So if you're growing food, then probably not great. Frances Tophill, everybody. She wants us to embrace weeds, and I am going to agree with her in this article. Gardener's World's Frances Tophill shows how to embrace weeds. Very brave. I don't know what that means. In today's episode of Gardener's World, the presenter showed a peculiar tropical garden in the middle of a city where all wild plants were allowed. I mean, even just that, right? Even just that part. A peculiar tropical garden. As if all weeds are allowed. Hey, weeds are allowed. She explains, people tend to remove all wild plants from the garden, but in today's episode, she introduced a guest that actually embraces the wild areas. Aha! I know this person. We should have probably got him on. Maybe we will. I'll ask Jack to come on. Is it Jack? Surely. There is a book. Hang on, let me have a look. Shall I try and get Jack on? Not right now, but we have to. Why is it not saying his name though? Oh, maybe it wasn't Jack. Jack Warrington has written a book. Let me try and find it. How much longer of the show left? What is that book called? Wild About Weeds? It is. About how... Oh, maybe I need to buy this book. Right, let me see if it's on Amazon. I don't know. I might got this book. Let me have a little look. Hang on. It's a good book, says Suggs. Have you got it, Suggs? Is it on? Let me try and get it. Right here. 0742 357 4520 if you want to call in tonight. Let me try and see if I can find. I'll try and buy it. I think it's going to be a handy book. Here it is. How much is it? It's more expensive on Amazon. I'm going to find that book. Wild About Weeds, the Times Garden Book of the Year 2019. How about that, everyone? How about that? I'm going to get that book. That's going to be. I'm buying that later. Should we try and get Jack on at some point? Talk about this, because I really think this is quite an important thing. We talked about bees. I'm just trying to get my emails up because Sean just said he sent me something. Not come through yet, Sean, for some reason. Oh, there it is. Book Weeds. Cheers. Yeah, it's that one. Yeah. Thanks for that, Sean. I'm gonna get let's get Jack on. Well, I really think I'm really getting into this. I'm really getting into this garden stuff, guys. Mainly because I do want new gardens to be a bit more wild and wildlife friendly. I don't know. I just feel maybe we've got into a bit of a, I don't know, not a rut, but a thing where we must keep all our beds well weeded and soiled, when actually, if you think about it, they're just almost filler plants, right? If you really can design something, and we will design the garden together, but if you really design it around weeds, then surely it'll work, right? Surely that's a good thing. Surely. A garden designer explains why we should learn to love weeds. Don't need a garden designer, mate. Got a gardener saying it. He says, I can't read this because it's on the Independent. With the growing season now well underway, weeds inevitably start to emerge in flower beds and your veg beds. If you're knee deep in nettles and brambles and other perennial weeds, can't seem to keep under control, maybe you need to step back and to reflect on their untapped beauty and biodiversity benefits. Tonight, we have good point. It'd be good for your hedgerow. It'd be good for all wildlife. That's what I'm trying to say, Sean. Like, having weeds in the garden and having overgrown areas is good for all wildlife. I don't think we think about that. I'll tell you why. One of the reasons I got a little bit angry about this is because someone told me the other day they were totally getting rid of their garden. Like, I'm all about cutting your grass. I'm all about that. You know that, right? But they were getting rid of everything and just laying a lawn, and that was it. And I thought, I'm going to rebel against that. I'll go totally the other direction. I don't know. It's an open discussion. I think we'll probably come back to it at some point over the coming weeks. It's an interesting one, eh? It's an interesting. Don't talk about plastic lawns, Sean. Don't talk about plastic lawns. It's an interesting one. And we're gonna see how we get on with that. We'll come back to it. We'll be back actually. If you're watching the show, we'll actually be back 7 p.m. every Thursday. I might change it up. I might do a morning show again soon. I might do a little morning show, not next week, but in a couple of weeks' time maybe. See how that mixes into the mixer. And yeah, we'll be talking a lot more about gardens. I can't wait. We will do a whole design thing soon, maybe. We'll see. We'll see how we get on with that. If you walk into a hay meadow, you'll see so many insects and wildlife. Maybe we need more of meadows? Yeah, we do need more meadows. I'm with you. If you grow yellow rattle, that will keep your grass down. It rebels against grass. I don't know what yellow rattle is. I'll have to check it out. I still want some grass. I just don't know if we need to think about our beds a little bit or in the gardens. Have them a bit more wild. I mean, I know what you're saying, Stuart, about meadows. We do need more meadows, 100%. But just depending on what size garden you've got, mate. Well, Sean, what garden you got, mate? You know what I'm saying? Depending on what size garden you got, you might not be able to put a meadow in it. I don't know. But I'm with you. Anywhere for insects and wildlife, basically, team. Anywhere for that. Anyway, hey, look, if you watch the show, then we'll be back next week at 7 p.m. We've got some good guests coming up. If you listen to the show, then I'd love you to rate and review. Give it a 5-star. If you could give it a 4, but I'd rather you give it a 5, team. And let me know what you think. Weeds or no weeds? What do you do in your garden? Maybe you're not in the UK. Maybe you do it differently wherever you are in the world. I'd love to hear from you. You're very much welcome to come on the show. Sean's just sent me something. I'll look at that later, Sean. But for now, everyone, thank you so much to Sean for calling in for Weeds or No Weeds. I shall return. Big up to our sponsors, works-uk.com, bestdaysvintage.co.uk, and the School Gardening Success Plan, skinnygarden.co.uk. School success. For now, everybody, look after yourself. Look after your garden. Not too much, but most of all, look after your family. I'll speak to you later. You're beaming positivity and radiance. You look amazing, mate. What just happened? Hey, mate. Or, right, I love singing, all right? So I could be a singer. Tape. Stop everything. This is not. I just thought I'd get his last comment in. A metre square meadow works just as well. Most of us can make that much room. That is from Stuart Jackson, everyone. Very good point. I had to stop the outro just to add that comment. No one else put a comment. Right. That's a good point. Metre square meadows. Get it done. You're beaming positivity and radiance. You look amazing, mate. What just happened? Hey, mate. Or, right, I love singing, all right? So I could be a singer, you could be a backing dancer, band. Oh, my God. Oh, I know this. Oh, guys. Right. Oh, my God. Oh, right. We're just going to have to go off script for a second. Absolutely idiot-proof. Oh, my gosh, Danny. Forget it. Get out of here. That was unexpected.